Let's just jump right in. We're all told that to get better, to grow, we need to add more stuff to our lives, right? More habits, more goals, more hustle. But what if the real secret to leveling up isn't about adding, but about subtracting? Today, we're going to talk about 9 things that are quietly draining you, holding you back, and you probably don't even realize it.
And this, right here, this gets to the heart of it. On the one hand, you have what everyone thinks. Stack more on, do more, be more. But the truth, the real, lasting growth, that comes from taking things away. It's about removing the noise, plugging the energy drains, and clearing out all the mental clutter. It's a total flip of the script.
So, here's the game plan for our journey together. First, we're going to tackle how to quiet all that external noise from our social lives. Then, we'll get into reclaiming your focus from, everything that's trying to steal it. After that, we go deep into rewiring your inner world. And finally, we'll see what it actually feels like to have a mind that is truly yours again, unhijacked.
Okay, first up, quieting the external world. This is all about those invisible pressures we get from other people, the kind of stuff we absorb without even thinking about it. So in this first part, we're getting tactical. We are zeroing in on 3 huge energy drains: that constant nagging need to have other people get you, the guilt you might feel for your own personal growth, and that exhausting habit of explaining yourself all the time. Let's start with this need to be understood. In psychology, they have a term for it: social validation dependency. It's that deep human craving for approval. But here's the catch. When your inner peace depends on someone else's opinion, you've just given them the keys to your happiness. The moment you truly accept that most people won't fully understand you, and that it's okay, you get so much mental energy back. It's a game changer.
Next up, let's talk about that weird guilt you feel for outgrowing people. It's a real thing called identity dissonance. It's that clash when the new you meets the old version of you that only exists in someone else's head. So when someone says, "Wow, you've changed," it's not an insult. It's a fact. It's a sign that you're evolving. You're not supposed to stay the same. Never, ever apologize for that. And that leads right into the habit of over-explaining. See, every time you do that, your brain thinks you're trying to avoid being rejected, and it pumps you full of stress hormones. It's like a constant leak in your emotional battery. Just think about this quote: "You don't owe everyone a reason. Say less. Let silence make them curious." Your silence isn't weakness. It's a position of strength. It says more about your confidence than any long explanation ever could.
All right, let's move on. Section 2, reclaiming your focus. We've dealt with the outside world. Now we turn inward. We're going to talk about the battle for your most precious, most limited resource, your attention.
And the 3 big focus killers we're going after here are that nonstop, uncontrolled fire hose of digital information, those conversations that just go in circles and suck the life out of you, and that quiet little fear in the back of your mind, the fear of being boring.
Just look at this. It's kind of scary when you see it laid out, right? Our brains were not built for this constant stream of scrolling and notifications. In fact, what happens is that all this overstimulation actually makes your brain less sensitive to dopamine. The result? Real life, with its normal, quiet joys, starts to feel meh. It feels boring. You get impatient, you need more noise, and that tiny little slice for deep, meaningful focus, it just gets smaller and smaller.
And what about those conversations that go nowhere? Well, there's a perfect term for it: conversational narcissism. You know exactly what this feels like. You're talking, and you can just see that the other person isn't really listening. They're just waiting for you to take a breath so they can jump in. These talks leave you feeling totally empty. Realizing that comfortable silence is way better than this kind of shallow exchange is a huge power-up. This brings us to the fear of being boring. This is really just a form of impression management, where you're constantly performing, tweaking who you are so people will like you. It is absolutely exhausting, but here's the beautiful paradox. Real authenticity is magnetic. When you finally stop performing, you don't become boring, you become real, and people are starving for what's real. Okay, let's go even deeper now. Section 3, rewiring your inner world. We're moving past the external stuff, past the obvious distractions, and we're looking at the subconscious code, the deep-seated beliefs that are running the whole show from behind the curtain. And these last 3 things on our list, they're the big ones. They are the most personal. We're talking about letting go of that desperate search for closure, dropping that harsh inner critic you think is motivating you, and finally, shedding that deep urge to constantly prove you're good enough.
So this need for closure, why do we want it so badly? Well, it's to get rid of something called cognitive dissonance. It's that itchy, uncomfortable feeling in your brain when a story doesn't have an ending. But here's the thing. Closure is mostly a myth. It's a story we tell ourselves. Some things in life just end. Real strength isn't finding all the answers. It's getting comfortable living with the questions.
Now let's talk about that inner critic. So many of us believe that being hard on ourselves is what makes us successful, but the science actually shows the opposite. Self-criticism floods your system with the stress hormone cortisol, which literally stops your brain from being able to learn from its mistakes. So changing your inner voice from "I'm not good enough" to "I am learning" isn't just playing with words, it's fundamentally rewiring how your brain operates.
And finally, that urge to prove your worth. Where does that even come from? So often, it comes from something called conditional acceptance. Maybe when you were little, you learned that you got love and praise when you achieved something, not just for being you. So now, as an adult, you're stuck on this hamster wheel, always chasing the next goal to feel like you're okay. The big, life-changing shift happens when you truly realize you don't have to earn your right to take up space. You deserve it, right now, just as you are.
So, you've done all this hard work of subtracting. What's the reward? What's the end game here? Well, let's look at what actually happens when you get rid of the noise and your mind is no longer hijacked.
Your brain actually goes on this incredible journey. At first, it fights you. It feels weird, maybe even a little empty, because your mind has gotten so used to chaos that it mistakes that pain for safety. But if you stick with it, it starts to rebalance. The noise quiets down, you suddenly have room to think. And then, the magic happens. Your brain's reward system flips. It stops craving chaos and starts getting a hit from clarity. And that last step? Ownership.
And that's really the whole secret, isn't it? You haven't turned into some brand new person. You haven't added 100 new routines. You've just taken away the things that were hijacking your focus, your energy, and your peace. You've uncovered the person who was there all along. Your mind is finally truly yours.
So I'll leave you with this. The most important question isn't what you're going to add to your life tomorrow. It's this. After hearing all this, what is just one piece of noise you can quietly, without making a big deal about it, decide to eliminate, starting today?